Welcome at Le Mans 2010. Here we are at the Spyker pit box, and we started qualifying yesterday. Before that we had a free practice, and it went well. I started to drive for the first hour, I think, hour and 20 minutes to prepare the car. We had to run in the gearbox. Here I prepare myself to get into the car. And yeah, we were pretty happy. We started off slowly, we didn't have any rush, and we have lots of hours coming up to practice. So we had a good start of the 24 hours for us.
Yeah, and then Jerome gave me the car for the qualifying lap, which I was behind the BMW. As you see in front of us, the Andy Prio Artist BMW M3, which is in our class. And as you can see, I'm trying to be clever to take a good slipstream. First corner is the Dunlop, up the hill, left, right, second gear.
Yeah, interesting corner. Then very fast part going down the hill. I don't know exactly the name actually, but it's very quick. It's a bit bumpy. Here you got to be careful also in traffic. In fourth gear, and then from this point on you go flat out to Tête Rouge.
Well, I took it in third gear, just that you notice. And then Tête Rouge, I think one of the most important corners there is. As you can see, I'm about 50 meters behind the BMW to take a really good slipstream up to the first chicane, because the slipstreaming with the long straights is very important here, isn't it?
Yeah, it's very important. This is actually on the straights is the only thing we can do, because it's quite boring. It's a long time flat out, so you just gotta do your job and wait for the next corner to come up. But yeah, if you can get it towed and you concentrate on that, and hopefully you'll gain some tenths of a second.
Yeah, braking here at about 110 meters. I tell you, you do about 270. You have to go back to second gear, and then you take the first chicane, which we know of always in Le Mans. Accelerate really well. You see the BMW is a little bit faster on the acceleration, but we're better under the brakes.
Yeah, we're catching him slowly. We're back on the second part of the straight to another chicane. It's yeah, a very long straight. It used to be all the way down to Mulsanne, so it was one long way where they went over 400 kilometers an hour. But nowadays you go a bit slower. You see the Peugeot passing quite a bit faster. Here you brake at 100. Yeah, it's an interesting chicane. You go into third and then second in this part, and then flat out again. We see the Spyker is very good because we're catching the BMW again, and now we're really starting to feel the toe.
Yeah, it's very important to be a little bit closer. You can see this will help in a lap, I think, at least 1.5 seconds. Then we will go to Mulsanne, I think one of the most interesting corners. We have no radio contact there because it's completely at the other side of the circuit. Just braking in the corner, big braking zone, sometimes locking a little bit on the inside. As you can see, I go a little bit wild, Jerome. That was just because I was maybe braking a little bit too late.
Yeah, but you got to push sometimes, and it was a very good lap, and it proves that our car is quick this year. Here we have another long straight with two short kinks in it, which are quite demanding in traffic, especially in the night. You have a lot of big cars overtaking you here, and then you have to drive together through the corner, which is not so easy. And then you come to Indianapolis, which is here. You brake just after 100, and that's very interesting, really fast, and if you go off you will wreck the car completely.
Yeah, Indianapolis is the fastest point of the circuit, where we go 288 km per hour up to Arnage. If you go straight here, you just drive into the village. Arnage is the village which is around that corner. Go from first to second and shift up to the most interesting corners, the Porsche corners. Because?
Well, it's really fast and challenging, and there's no runoff or nearly no runoff. So if you make a mistake again, the car is wrecked, so the race is over. And here you arrive again really fast. You just don't go to sixth, you stay in fifth in the limiter. And here you can see that we are faster than the BMWs in these kind of corners. We have good grip in the high-speed corners. Here, you just have to back off a little bit, but it's nearly flat, so it's very interesting.
Yeah, here I tried to make another gap to prepare for the other lap, because I was a little bit too close behind the BMW. Otherwise you have no front downforce. So I tried to be clever to make a gap of about 70 meters, a little bit longer than the lap before. But then the BMW is tricking me, because he's going into the pit. So and maybe it was not clever to go off throttle here. Here in front of us the fourth chicane, and you see the sports car nearly going off, a little bit too wild over the curbstones, and then taking the last corner very early, second gear, and to prepare for the other fast lap.
Yeah, and then we're back, so we come back to the pit lane. Yeah, we started to see some problems in the car. We had to check the gearbox, so unfortunately that cost us some time, and yeah, we couldn't really go out at the right moment for qualifying. So yeah, that was a shame, because normally you put your time when it's still light out there, or at least a little bit light, and now we went out when it was completely dark. So basically we started preparing for the race. The guys yeah, worked hard on it, so they still did a great job to prepare it in time to make the practice, but unfortunately not in time to be very fast.
No, we did our time 4:03.3, which would have put us P8, but we're now P13, which is no problem because it's a 24-hour race and also 24-hour for the mechanics, so we try to have no stress, relaxation, and to prepare everything for the night where we had the qualifying. That's we were behind the LMP. This was exit of the second chicane. As you can see, we're flashing because they were holding us up a little bit in the night.
Yeah, there were lots of new drivers out there who had to do their 3 laps because otherwise they cannot take part in the race. And they were going so slow because it's very difficult in the beginning to find your way in the dark in Le Mans. So yeah, it took a lot of drivers a long time to get up to speed, and actually I got held up a couple of times by even 2 of the private Audis. So then you can imagine how slow some of those drivers are going around.
Yeah, and that means that we feel happy and we are prepared to do the 24-hour. Huh?
Yeah, we're looking forward to it. No sleep, but flat out.
That's the way it goes. 24 hours.
Well, it's wet, getting dry, so gradually, step by step, it's getting more dry, but you can't push for the ultimate time yet on new slick tyres, because through the Porsche cars it's still that little bit too wet, and if you make a mistake or you run off line, then you're going in the wall. So we've just decided to park it for the moment, not to take any risk, and maybe when it dries a little bit more, we'll look at the times from the other cars and maybe we go again. We're all running to plan, so yeah, I'm ready.